Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Poor Choices Sip and Chill. I am X-Ray Girl, of course, and I am missing Tugs today, so it's a bit of a solo stream, but she will get here when, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. So, yeah, how's everyone doing? I see some of you from earlier. Hello, Max. What's up? What are you doing right now, Max? Come on. Let me know. Let me know. Hi, Eric Stratton. What's up? Cajun Corey, SJ Loot. Oh my gosh, Eric Stratton, thank you for becoming a Lush member. We are not being Lushes this January. For those that don't know, I am doing dry January. I know Tugs is doing lighter dry January. So less dry, a little wet. She special occasions she gets a little toe dipped in there. So yeah, thank you very much, Eric. Hello, Saw and Andrew. Oh my gosh, so many people here. I love it. And Eric Stratton with the 777. By the way, I think it's a lucky number out in the West area here. Jay's been taking some oh my god, pretty good pounding from Gary, etc. Wondering, can you enlist Gary as Chris, etc. to find realistic pirate chest for Jay? You mean like chest? Or like a treasure chest? Because that matters. Maybe we can find a real treasure chest. I'm gonna let Jay figure out what he wants. Oh sure, Max, I'm gonna send you the link. I'll send you the link. Although I don't mind doing it solo, but if you have some time, I would love to chat with you because it's been a while. Feel like it's been a while. Max, what is your Twitter? There we go. There you go. Sent on twat. Oh, a treasure chest? Hey, a treasure chest much easier to find than a chest for Jay. Like, how awkward is it to go up to people like, will you be a chest for Jay? Like that's like wing woman beyond. No. uh treasure, he can't find one using Google. Well, it depends on your definition of treasure too. I personally think like a beautiful mountain is a treasure, but maybe he doesn't think that. So, although I do know he has a channel called Jaywalking the Planet. Anyways, so today's topics are going to include a lot of videos, tweets, and whatnot reacting to I wanted to call it women posting their L's. It's mostly women stuff, but it's also men. So that's why I say people who post their L's. Some of it's warranted, some of it's not. But I think dating in the modern world as we know it is absolutely insane. I'm quiet again. God dang it. I have no idea. I'm gonna blink. I'm finally realizing. Okay, I'm just gonna let it automatically adjust. Is that better? Is that better? Hopefully that's better. I just let it automatically go. Usually that doesn't work. Just add wicked virtue. She will have context and help. Okay, I'll try. But any case, yeah. So with modern dating, it is so much harder than it was back in the day. I think because mostly you guys are male in the chat. I don't think I see any females here as of right now, but it is very difficult to find a good woman. And then on top of that, being in the relationship is difficult unto itself because there are so many communication issues that we are having today that are hard to navigate uh, based on personal experience and things I've heard over with friends, male, female. So yeah, yeah. Okay, is that better for a volume? Assuming chat's gender. Yeah, well, Nick, I'm assuming you're a guy. I've never met a Nick female as well as Abe. Single guy cooking, you must be a guy. Like, why would you have a guy there if it wasn't a guy? Is there anyone who's a female here? Seriously, just asking for a friend. We got Dave Chandler, member for 5 months. Thank you so much, Dave. Says, it's cold here. I'll never tease Canada again. Oh my God, what temperature is it now? Negative 11 degrees Celsius. That'll be, let me see, to Fahrenheit. 12.2 Fahrenheit. Ooh, that's cold. And I think it's going to get even colder too. Let's see full forecast. Well, I don't care. Snooze, exit. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's the coldest it'll be tonight, so that's good. That's good. Women don't exist on the internet? Well, women don't exist in my streams, to be fair. To be fair. All right. Never kiss and tell. Who's kissing for you to tell? We're at the same temperature, Saw. Do you live in my area? All right. So let's start off with this video while we're waiting. I know Tugs will be here at some point. She's just busy right now. She's got some IRL stuff, you know. Also, can I just say before I actually show the video, I've been trying this new supplement. Sorry, Rogue, I know I'm cheating on you, but this is from Gigi Subs called Titty Milk. Speaking of titties.
I showed up at the perfect time.
Yeah, look at how cute she is.
So kawaii.
Ah, ooh. Wow.
Was that?
Max.
Hi, thank you for letting me swing by for a little bit.
No worries.
Um, was that one of the ones that we got at LA Comic Con?
Yeah, so I actually ordered a bunch of supplements from them
Oh,
for
cool.
I got non-caffeinated so that I have something yummy to drink because I have such a sweet tooth.
Mm,
And this is helping a lot.
nice. Is
A
that
lot.
also a galaxy light next to you?
It's not from Galaxy because I don't support them after what they did to
Oh, that's
Mrs.
right.
Nerdrotic
Too.
and
Yeah.
Perry.
Hmm.
But I bought one on Amazon and it's a little spaceman, so he's very cute.
Oh, yeah, he's got the little
Head you
helmet,
can turn
and
around.
yeah,
Yes.
those are
Yes,
cool.
because this plain wall is just so random, but the vent's there, so I can't have it covering the vent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've got one for my actual bedroom, and it's awesome. Those things are great. Like, the projector that I have, like, projects the entire top of my, ceiling, so it's great.
so
But
when you say I can show you the world to your next girl,
I
it's
plug
your
it on, I
Galaxy.
turn it
Oh.
on, and well, I plug it in and I turn it on.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, wow, that's how you turn Max on, apparently. Okay.
Starting off my intro right. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, yes. Thank
Sorry
you for
sorry to
joining.
yeah, sorry to get you off topic, though, and
No, it's all
yeah.
good. So I have a bunch of videos that I just have collected over the last couple days and just there's a lot of craziness out in the world. And
Mm,
this is going to personify it just a bit extra. And most of these are from women, but there's a couple of L's from men. But can you
okay.
imagine this? Like, I actually would feel so furious. I know maybe she did something for this to not happen, but at the same time, you feel a little bad, but you wonder what happened beforehand to bring you to this moment, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn the volume off. My date didn't come back. And he didn't even eat all his food, too.
Oh, what do you think if you could guess, what do you think happened? What do you think she said to make him go, I
Hmm.
can't even finish this dinner. Like, I can't, I have to get
God.
out."
Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is that she could either be a vapid narcissist, an extreme racist.
Oh,
Um, it has to be something pretty bad to go away mid-meal because at least if he finished his meal, it's like, okay, maybe he's a dine and dasher,
right.
right? But if he didn't actually finish his meal, there must have been something pretty bad that happened
Mhm.
for him to leave, which makes me think, okay, yeah, she's definitely posting an L on this one.
That's kinda how I feel, like, if he didn't even finish his food, he was bolted, he needed to get out of there, so,
I need to
like,
would you do that? If you met an extreme feminist, would you have the guts to leave midway through your dinner?
I think that there's a respectful way to do it, like, even if she was, like, abhorrent and, you know, condescending and arrogant and, like you said, like, narcissistic, like, if she was really truly just an awful person to be around, I would respectfully have to say, "Listen, this isn't working, and I have
You're
to leave because
scaring me.
this is no,
Ooh,
no,
trying to
more
figure out your
so.
layout. Oh,
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know if
different
I like
layouts.
I don't know. I want us bigger. That's what she said. Anyways,
Oh.
um,
But yeah, I feel like I don't know if I have the balls to just get up and walk away. That's
yeah,
pretty that's pretty ballsy.
well, the only reason I leave midway through a date, oh God, and I've gone through some pretty bad dates too, and I've never left that midway. Maybe,
Yeah.
cut dessert out.
If
Oh.
oh, you know what? Yeah, if she, like, dropped a bomb on you where it's like, "Oh, I'm actually a guy," that might actually prompt, "Oh,
Oh,
you know
let's
what?
go
Okay,
back.
never mind," and you might have to just leave at that point
Okay,
because
wait, wait.
that's like a total bait and switch, right?
Um,
I don't
I think
know.
this is a girl,
Yeah. Does she have a
maybe.
septum piercing?
Uh,
I can't tell, but, uh, no.
no. Okay, I think this is a girl, okay? But I can totally see that if she said all of a sudden, "Sorry, I have a penis." I'd be like, "Okay, well, you lied. You have to tell me this beforehand."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
'Cause yeah, that's just straight up that's yeah, that's a complete lie. Now, have you seen those articles that will say, "Oh, if you don't date trans women
"Oh my god, then
that,
you are
you're"
transphobic."
yeah, that you're transphobic or that you're homophobic or that you're, you know
No, I do not think that you're transphobic for wanting someone without, um, a peen. Like, that's just no.
yeah. Yeah, it's another one of those articles that's like, "Oh, if you're early to something, if you're on time, you're supporting white supremacy." And it's that type of article.
I honestly, the people who say that, they're just trying to get some sort of empathy for them, and that's not the way to do it. If you wanna get empathy, do not say mean and rude things to people like, "Ugh, ugh."
You,
Oh, this. She could be
yeah,
married or dating someone else.
mhm. The married
That's a
thing would
good
would
thought.
instantly get you. I would bolt.
I would not stand for that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, which would the herp make you run away, Max?
Ooh, oh, no. Oh, that's scary. Well, so the bad thing about it is that she has the herp, but the good thing about it is at least she told you. Because some women won't, you know?
Oh, that is very true. Oh my god. Chat, you're giving some good suggestions right now. Let's see. Frog Finance thinks she does have a PP.
Oh boy. Did we see a Adam's apple? We see one of these guys?
I don't think so. We can watch the whole video. Let me just share that again just to double check.
I don't know. She looks fairly feminine, but
The eyes
if
make me feel like it's feminine,
yeah. Hmm.
but it is a very
Yeah,
grainy
that's
video. This
it
see,
is
this part makes me think maybe.
yeah. You can never tell these days. You can
I
never be too
know,
sure.
I know. You have to always do the package test, I guess?
Oh,
I
my
don't know.
what's that? I
Do
don't
a
even
do a
know
little
about that.
tap just to see. I don't know.
Just brush up against it just to make sure. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
God. Aw, she said Warhammer sucked. I don't think that's a reason to bolt. People
Uh,
are way too quick to overshare. Absolutely, Dave.
a lot of them, trauma dump. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I was trauma dumped
Trauma
once.
dumping?
Um,
Oh, really?
I think I've told it before, but I wasn't sure if you're here. I, went on a date, and I guess we kinda passed by where his brother had passed away the year before in a car accident, and so he was just
Oh.
like he actually cried, and I'm just thinking, I don't know where like, it's weird to be your therapist, so to speak,
Mhm.
and then go into the mindset of dating, like, I was like, "He's cute enough, but I don't think he's cute enough for me to deal with him in this sense." Maybe on the 3rd date, it would have been a bit more appropriate,
Yeah, if
maybe?
it's the first date, that's a you don't even know each other, you know? That's
Yeah,
really intimate
and so when
to begin
you
to cry.
yeah, when you get to that point where we haven't even shared a dessert and you're
Yeah, oh,
sharing that.
no, and it's all already,
But yeah, that's a great term,
uh
trauma dump.
yeah, no, a lot of people, will trauma dump on you, and the really sinister, like, narcissistic ones will use it as a kind of weaponized kindness, but, yeah, trauma dumping can be scary, especially because if you're not ready for it, and this person is like, "Oh, I was abused," or, "Oh, this thing happened," it's like, you obviously wanna be receptive towards that, and you obviously wanna come from a place of compassion and understanding, um,
Mhm, and
but
I think I'm a nice person, I wanted to listen to him and let him talk, 'cause
oh,
clearly he
yeah.
need to go through it, and it just
Yeah,
after
but
feeling like a healthcare professional, I just don't feel like being your date.
yeah, yeah, because then it doesn't become I don't know, the date doesn't become about getting to know each other, it then becomes like we're kinda playing, what's the term I'm looking for? You're now having to fix things, and you're like, "Oh,
Yes.
I didn't I didn't sign up for this, I'm sorry."
Like I said, a
So,
3rd date thing, maybe. If I really liked you, I would listen to you, and I think that would
sure,
actually bring you closer, but on a first
yes.
date, I wanna know, like, the fun stuff, like, do we get
Mhm.
along?
Yeah, what's our chemistry like? Do we even
Mhm.
enjoy our conversations, you know?
Abso-freaking-lutely. Here, this is another one I think I would run away midway through dinner. She talked about her ex a lot.
That's a bad one for sure. It's a huge red flag. I don't know if I'd leave dinner though.
It would have to be like, "I broke up with him yesterday, I'm here on this date with you today," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, no." Like, that's too much trouble. Like
Yeah, what's your, like, non-negotiable, you're gonna get up and leave without paying, without finishing dinner?
oh god. I don't like, I think for guys, it's the list has to be pretty short, and same thing for girls. 'Cause I've never done it. I've never had been put in that situation that I felt like I need to run away. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just too nice also. I did
That could
date
be
s
it, yeah.
I did date someone. I think on the 2nd date, I stopped because, the 1st date, I found out he was a dad, which is fine, not a big deal. Um, I asked, "Are you guys, like, okay?" He said they were okay. On the 2nd date, she had called him midway through the date screaming because she found
Oh,
out he was on a date.
no.
And I'm just like, I thought, like, "What?" He's
Bro,
like,
you said
"Well,"
it was cool?
I was like, "No, not exactly. I just didn't
Yeah.
want to bring you into it." And I'm like, hell no." So,
Yeah. That's, yeah,
and
they're
that's when I stopped it. But that was the 2nd date.
yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's like, I think as you get older, at least now that, because I turned 30 this past year, and so as I'm getting older, and as some of my
Baby.
friends get older, and so yeah, I know. I can no longer say I'm in my 20s. Damn.
I know.
Uh, but yeah, I think you start to like I don't know, filter out like all the stuff that all the people that you've dated, all the red flags and all the green flags, and you start to filter into like you get a really narrow view of like this is the person that I'm looking for, you know. Um, so it takes a little bit longer to find that person, but at least you kind of have some of your priorities straight. I know, Kara.
I
Uh,
know.
ew,
I don't think
gross.
we can be friends anymore, you're too old.
I know.
I'm kidding.
I'm getting up there. Ugh.
Have you
I'm
found a
like,
gray hair yet?
"Oh, are you kidding me? It's on my beard." You guys have
Oh,
seen my beard,
I
yeah.
haven't stared that hard at your beard,
Yeah, I got a
clearly.
little salt and pepper going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Kara. How are you?
Hi, Kara.
feel like I've been talking to her all day, which is actually true.
Oh.
I have been talking to her all day. But yeah, okay, getting back to this. Uh it has to be pretty bad for a guy to leave. I think you are right. You should be respectful even if you're not enjoying the date. This ghosting IRL is even colder than just like after the date and ghost.
It's like I said, it's a ballsy move because you would have to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back." And then you would have to find a way to walk out of the restaurant without her seeing, or maybe she does see and you just keep walking.
You're like
Um,
crawling out so she doesn't see over the booth.
doing the Mark crawl underneath the
Yeah,
tables. Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's yeah, it's you something must have happened to where it was like abort,
Mhm.
you know. So
Okay, since we have a man here, could have been a financial demand on the relationship. Men don't want that responsibility anymore. If all of a sudden you heard on your first date, I want you to buy me stuff, take care of me, pay my bills, blah, blah, blah. Would you walk out midway? And you don't have to walk out ghosting. You can tell
no.
her, like, sorry, this is just not the relationship I'm looking
If
for.
it's the woman who was on that Christian podcast, where she was saying like, "If I was a guy, I would pay for women everywhere. I would just be paying for women's things all the time." If it was that type of thing, I think I'd probably say, "Hey, I had a good time, but I don't think it's gonna work out." But if she expects me to provide for her, like as a family man and as a father, I don't see anything wrong with that. At least for me and my principles, like I actually value that. I hope that she would want that. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, there was a podcast. I forget what it was called, but yeah, this woman was saying like, if you're truly a Christian man, you will pay for every meal, for every thing, for the house, for all the everything for the kids. You'll pay for other women's things. So if you see like a woman at a valet, you should just pay for her stuff. And I was like, no, 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 no.
That
Okay,
might be
we're
a smidge too far.
yeah. I
Like,
was
why are
like,
you supporting other women? It's all also, people
right.
could take that as you're hitting on them.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So she was like, yeah, if I were a man, I would just pay for every woman. And it's like that has to be something special because if you're just a guy throwing around money, then when you actually do pay for something for your significant other, why is it needs to be special, it needs to mean something. I'm providing for my girlfriend or for my wife, not for just some random bimbos all over the place. So,
Mhm, mhm.
um, do you I mean, well, it would, get us off topic, but I was gonna say I could see if I could find the video, but I don't wanna stray from your,
No, if
topic
you can
already.
find it, that would be cool, in the next, like, couple minutes, 'cause
Yeah, sure.
that's interesting. I, I see where she's coming from at least in the podcast, like, "This is my standard, this is what I want, and hey, you're allowed to want what you want, there's just gonna be a very limited number of people that will provide that for you and are okay doing that." So, I'm gonna get red pill here, but, you also have to think about as a I guess, the Christian woman. What are you providing for your man? Are you doing everything housewifey? Are you gonna bring him peace? Are you gonna take care of him as he is taking care of you financially and emotionally? And that's important too, so that you coming together. Um, what was it? I was listening to Chrissy Mayer's show, Rachel Wilson, this interview she was doing, and
Yeah.
she was saying how being home where you're able to work your schedule, take care of the kids, homeschool the kids, that made her life feel so fulfilling. Whereas it's not as fulfilling, being away, working, daycare, babysitting, waking up at 5. They all wake up at like 7 a.m. It's nicer. It seems nicer the way she like talked about it. So yeah.
I This may get me in trouble, but I really like Rachel Wilson. I think she's Andrew Wilson's, wife. Um, and I know Andrew can be pretty polarizing, online, but,
I
yeah, I
don't
think
really know him, to be
oh,
honest.
okay. he's been on the whatever podcast a few times, but he's
Ah,
very he has very strict moralistic values. He is very unwavering in his faith, um, and I respect him a lot. But like I said, I know he can be super polarizing because
you got a fan.
he doesn't let up. So, oh,
Yeah,
fantastic, Darian! Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Rachel is great because she actually pulled him out of a really dark place in his life. Um,
Mm.
and kind of brought him back into his faith. And I thought that was pretty cool that she did that. But Rachel actually came out with a book because she's
I
an
heard. I wanna read it.
yeah, it sounds really good, right? So
Yeah.
um, just stuff like that where they really have made a pretty significant difference. But I understand that they're not for everyone because they are very yeah, I don't know.
Religious based?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I understand that. I mean, I'm not religious, but I understand why religion is very powerful for a lot of people. So, Drainer says if a girl has a job, she can contribute a little, but it's a huge turnoff to have a girl demand me pay rather than making me feel like it's voluntary. Now, I think it's always how you phrase it. There's a nice way and then there's a really rude way. And there's ways in between, of course. But if like I had that value where I wanted someone to take care of me, in that sense, I would say I've been wanting to do this for a real long time. Like, if we have kids, I want to be a stay at home mom, not to shirk my duties and making money, but to take care of the kids and be there for them, be a lot more present to them. Because right now, kids are having a harder time mentally, emotionally, and even physically when parents are not present. And I think if you present it like that, it's not as abrasive. Right? Instead of, "I need you to take care of everything."
I think with and I mean, I can't speak to marriage because obviously I'm single, but, I think you could speak to this more so in terms of, like, are you talking about compromising? A
Well,
compromise in
that's
a
that
marriage?
that is
Or
a compromise, and I think that if you like, you can work up till you're pregnant and have that
Mm,
dual income if you want, the dinks, if
mhm.
you will. Um, but then once the kids come into the picture, you had presented that option that you had wanted, and he is aware of it, and maybe he actually wants it as well because you've talked about the benefits of, being at home more often for your kids, then that'll change. And I
Mhm.
think that's a fair way to kind of bring it about, but yeah, definitely sounds a lot more reasonable than, "I need you to take care of all my bills and home and blah, 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 blah."
Yeah, I know women and, Rachel talks about this, but I know women who are like, "I love being at home with my kids." Like, it's exhausting and I have to work and do the kids and clean the house, but it is so rewarding and I absolutely love it. And that is super to me, I think that's exciting for those women is finding their purpose in that.
Yeah.
And then the husband finding purpose in going physically to work and providing for the family. So yeah, and that's not for everyone, like we always say, but it is exciting to hear that women find that great glorious purpose through that. But
Yeah, yeah, and
um,
Paul, that is an option. We're just taking it
yeah,
at face value. It could just be for social media,
yeah,
and
that's
if it
very
is,
true.
that's even dirtier than being left alone.
Oh yeah, it's for likes and attention. She's just trying to
Mhm,
get clout, and it's like,
mhm.
come on.
Either way, it's for attention, but, like, you're
Yeah,
lying at that
well,
point,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow. You're making yourself seem like a loser.
And yeah, that's a good point. It's like, wait, so why would you post that though if you're gonna look like the one who maybe to get sympathy? Because I think some people might say like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that he
You
left
poor
you." What?
thing. He
Yeah, and
sucks.
they're
Men
he's
suck.
men suck. Yeah, men are trash. It's always that, right? It's always men are trash.
Yup, yup.
So,
All
uh,
right, so this is the
so here's
video?
the yeah, here's the video. I there's background music, but I don't know if it's gonna get us copyrighted. So I'm gonna play just like a few seconds and let me know if
Okay,
you want me to turn it off or anything.
It's like you shouldn't be dating anyways to begin with. If I was a
should be
man,
fine.
I would take so much.
Say again.
Should be fine.
Okay.
much pride and honor in being the man, taking care of things, and being like, oh, how dare you even pretend to pull out your wallet.
Even if it's just this feminine thing that they have to them that they just, oh yeah, I'll let the girl pay. Yeah.
Honestly, if I was a guy, even if I saw like I was a guy and I saw a random girl paying for her valet, I probably would have so much pride.
Like,
I'd pay for the random person. I would not be able to be a man around women letting them pay for things.
Well, say we're with a guy, we're at the valet, and we have cash, and the guy's sitting next to me with the cash, and you're gonna let me pay the $10?
I can't.
If I don't know you, yes. You know what I mean? Like,
Like,
right?
why are you spreading your resources to people you don't know
Yeah.
for no reason? Like,
Uh,
that is
ultimate-
wild
yeah.
to me.
Just because of they're saying a man's like that he's too proud that
He has to pay for everyone
he's
around
yeah.
him. Doesn't matter who, what, where.
Well,
What. Like,
all the
I
women around him.
Yeah, all the women. Sorry, all the women. And at what age do you have to like start doing that? 18? Got to look for the mark. Or are you going to be like Pearl and be like 16-year-olds? Yeah, I'm going to pay for
Oh,
your
no.
stuff too. I don't know. I think that she's trying to rationalize wanting men pay for her stuff.
100%, 100% X-ray. Yeah, you nailed it.
Like,
She's basically, I think she's using the platform of this podcast to say, I'm looking for a man who's basically going to pay for everything. And like,
that's not fair.
I mean, it's not fair. There will be a guy who will come around and be like, yeah, of course, I will do that for you. And good for them. But if they're trying to give advice for all men on what to do with their finances, I do not agree, you know?
Like,
I think, yeah.
rich people stay rich for a reason,
Yeah. They're
right?
very
Like,
smart
you're not
yeah.
going to pay for random women.
No, no. I have a hard enough time, paying for dates for the women that I do go out with, let alone
Like,
every other woman.
If I found out my boyfriend or my husband, if Mark did this on a continual basis, paid for other women, I'd be like, excuse me, those
Yeah.
are our resources. We're married. The hell? Are you hitting on them?
Yeah. Yeah, because and that's the other thing. It's like, okay, so my purpose for buying this woman's valet, like it's $10, sure. If I'm making millions or even just a couple 100,000 a year, $10 is not going to be a lot. But it's still, what's the purpose behind it? Are you trying to be intentional about hitting on that woman or dating that woman? Or do you just feel so proud to be a man that you're just going to pay for all women? So like, that means I go to a Starbucks. What if there are 3 women in front of me and they're ordering frappe lattes?
Ladies, I have your drinks.
Yeah, you're just white knighting for women who you don't know. And you're like,
And
it's okay, ladies. I got this. It's on
like,
me.
are you going to go into Gucci and then just like buy all the stuff for the women in the store because there's going to be a ton in there? You're going to walk into Lululemon, who is just like primarily females, and buy all the stuff there? Like, what the hell? Where does it stop? Where is the line?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
Frog,
why
this
these
is
women.
true. Imagine paying for a woman who doesn't touch your penis. Simp, this is even worse than doing those OF subscriptions, I think, to pay for a
'cause
random woman stuff.
I mean, I will say that I think the downfall of humanity will be simp culture. But because I think that weak men will end up being the downfall of society and culture. But at least like, I would never defend OnlyFans, but if they are gonna pay for OnlyFans, at least there's a transaction.
Yes, there's no
Question mark?
transaction paying for a random girl's valet.
No. So you really are like simping for someone who will who's there's no reciprocation.
You don't even know who they are.
No. Let me see. I don't know what else is. I forget what the rest of the video is, but let me play I think there's only like 30 seconds left or so. But
Can't even imagine being a man. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I would feel like a literal woman if my girl like asked me for something and I was like, oh, that's.
I'll give someone my last dollar.
My mom and Ari literally got into a fist fight in 7-Eleven over who is gonna pay. To be quite honest, it's embarrassing. What are you being frugal for? You can't take it with you when you die. There's only one thing that you take when you go to heaven, and that's souls. You can only take other people. That's only people that you brought to Jesus that you'll see in heaven. Other than that, like, you're not bringing any of it with you.
It's the biggest turnoff ever.
Okay. I'm gonna say this.
So much.
You should not spend your last dollar on a random woman.
No.
You should be saving your money for a rainy day. Let me give you some financial advice. There's, your bills, which primarily take about like 40 to 50% of your income, and that's if you're full time. And then I'd say 30% in savings and 20% to do whatever you want with, including groceries and whatnot. I think that's a fair split. That's what I usually go by. And if you're dipping into savings to pay for women, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. There's so many. So what's funny is like coming from like a Christian perspective. Yes, Debony, absolutely. And that's kind of what I don't know how well these women um having dividends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agree.
Draenor, yeah. Yeah, but these women are like preaching on behalf of like Christian women, and I'm like, what? No. Like if you're at least for me, like me as a Christian man, like to cultivate a family, you are going to have to provide for your home, which means that you're going to have to pay for taxes and food and the children that you have in that house, and all sorts of different things, repairs, cars, like whatever it is. And to just like be
Flippant.
flippant and throwing your money away for random bimbos, it just seems so countercultural to what the Christian ideal of a man would be. But I think it's really disingenuous for these women to be like, why are you being so frugal with your money? I find it cowardly. I find it like, such a turn off. And it's like, that's so unfair to say to a man.
Yeah. I think that if you I would have a lot more respect for someone who donates their time or money towards things like children or people in need or I don't know, animals, whatever floats your boat. Like that means more to me than you just paying for some random person's coffee.
Yeah.
Or valet in
Yeah.
this case.
But like you said,
if you're
where
going
does
to
it
valet,
end?
they have money, okay?
Yeah. Oh, if you're going to a restaurant, yeah, or whatever, any maybe a hotel that has valet. I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna give them the valet money and then a tip. It's normally like more fancy places, but
Yeah, if you're going to those places, that you should be able to play. Why are you going there if you can't afford it?
yeah.
But anyways, I'm just
So
mad at her.
sorry to get off topic, but
No!
it's a really interesting video because I was like, what is happening right now? That is the weirdest take I've ever heard. Ever.
I mean, there's a lot of weird takes, and especially with like the feminism stuff, but that is so counter what we want to establish as a traditional relationship. If you want to get to more traditional relationships, that just it seems like you want to be traditional, but like still have a lot of feminism slapped under it.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It seems very counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But
He should not do that. Now, I guess I do have another video which came out, and I don't know how I feel about this. This looks fake to me because I think it was staged, but who knows?
oh.
Yes. Yes. So I think that listen, I don't mind a 50-50 bill split, but at the same time, that will be taken into account for a first date, whether there might be a second date for many women out there, right? And especially if you want to date a more traditional woman. Maybe this guy is more of a male feminist, who knows, into the 50-50 culture. But yeah, anyways, You'll see what happens.
Tinder date was mad that she had to split the bill.
What'd you say?
Why are we splitting the bill?
Well, I mean, it's our first date, so I thought we should maybe go half.
I can't believe you made us split the bill.
I mean, you ordered an appetizer that I didn't even touch. Why do you think that I should
Okay,
pay
but
for?
you asked me out.
I know, but you ordered something
You
that I did.
asked me out.
All right, I'll just take you home and. All right, see ya. Hello. Hello. See ya.
Oh man.
I'm sure this is fake, but let's just take it at face value and do some sort of reaction to it. Because, hey, look, remember the girl, the Cheesecake Factory girl? That was real, okay? Or it seemed
Cheesecake
real.
Factory girl.
Oh, it was like in Vegas. She was taken to Cheesecake Factory and she was like, "No, this place, like, I'm looking really good. I deserve to go to a better place than this." Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
do remember her.
Yeah. But
Yeah, no,
anyways.
I've seen better acting from high school theater performances. So, but no, yeah, I mean,
But
it felt a little acted out, but like you said, on face value though, very interesting.
like I there was a article, I was tagged in this one, and I believe it's from the same account. There was an Asian girl who apparently hadn't paid for a single meal for like 2 years.
I saw that.
Oh, here, I got it.
She had scheduled so many dates, yeah, that she just didn't buy food.
So, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk about this, because I've met a few people in my life when I was in university that actually did do this back in the day, and it's only
Mm.
become more rampant at this point, and that's like 10 years later, okay, guys? I'm old, okay? Whatever. So, to see something like this, I can see this being actually enacted somewhere where a person actually does get upset. Now, I've always said, if you ask me out, you should pay. If I ask out, which doesn't happen often, I'll pay. And, whatever, not a big deal. My first date with Mark, we both paid for something each. And so would I get mad? No. I think she overreacted. But like I said, would there have been a second date? The guy seemed okay. If the date went really well, maybe, but I don't know. That'd affect my
Yeah.
decision.
Man, her communication though was like pretty rough because she was just like, "Why did you make me split the bill?" Like the response should have been something like, "Hey, I have no problem splitting the bill. I totally understand. I personally am looking for a guy who will take care of that though. So,
At least for the
you
first
know,
date.
at least for the first date. So is that something you're willing to do? And if not, that's fine. Just let me know." Like
Yeah.
just something simple like that, right?
You take it to such a rational place.
You you would hope, right? You would hope that someone is rational thinking instead of just ah, why did I pay for half of it? And he's like, "Oh, you didn't touch your appetizer," or like, "I didn't touch your appetizer." It's
You
like,
ordered an appetizer, didn't touch it.
yeah.
It seems so uh what's the
Childish,
word? Yes,
immature,
childish. And hey,
childish.
I'm all about this, Frog. Take a walk, get a drink, do something
Mm.
cheap to see if she's, well, maybe not to see if
Is she,
she's a hoe,
is she a
but
hoe?
I would say to get to know better, because once you do the dinner date, you're committing to like an hour and a half. That's a lot of time to spend
That's
with
a
someone.
lot of
And
time.
at the time when I was dating, time was like a commodity. I have
Mhm.
better things to do than go on dates.
Yeah.
And Tinder is not a horrible place to find a date. Okay. I found Mark through Tinder. There's gems in there. And just, a lot of crap, at least on that app.
I so my go-to are coffee dates. I love coffee dates. It's so casual, it's nonchalant, there's no real pressure. Even and it gives you an opportunity to pay for her, and it's like maybe $10, like
Mhm.
total. Like if I get a coffee and she gets a coffee, maybe $10 if it's a Starbucks or something. So it gives you an opportunity to pay for her, but it's not a lot. And then, yeah, you can spend however long you want, 30 minutes. Uh, you know, I went on a coffee date that, yeah, lasted 30 minutes and we knew, you know what? I
Not
think
feeling it?
our chemistry isn't right. And so we'll just kind of cut things short and have a good rest of the day. But there have been other coffee dates where it turned into a dinner date where like we were at a
Yes.
coffee shop and we hung out for like 2 or 3 hours. And then I was like, "Oh my god, it's already dinner." And I was like, "This is gonna sound wild, but I've been having a great time. Do you wanna get, like, dinner down the street? We can walk to this Italian place." And she was like, "Absolutely, let's do it." So it can turn into something fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like those are just good starting points, but I don't know.
Yeah. And that way you can filter, as Frog says, see if she's a hoe.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Is she a hoe?
Oh, but
First thing
Frog,
you sit down and you just go, "Body count." No, I'm kidding.
some people it's
Don't
very important, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god. Okay, so say you were on, like, a dinner date and she, like, forced to pay for half of it. Would you take it as, like, she doesn't like me?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I wouldn't let her. Like, I don't think you say forced, but I you would have to be really sneaky to pay for half. If I'm paying for dinner,
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, because what I tend to do is I tend to go, "Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick,"
Oh,
and
I
I go
know
up
that.
and
I
and
know
I
that move. I've done that move.
You know the
I
move.
well, okay, it's not usually during dates. Like Mark and I are at this point where like we just like swap. I mean, it's the
Yeah,
same money.
yeah,
It doesn't really
it's
matter.
yeah.
But with my family, what we try to do is like pay, and so like it's a
Mhm.
fight to pay the bill. What we
Yeah.
should do, and I saw this in Inventing Anna, where you do roulette. You just throw the cards and let them choose a random card to pay with. I think I might do that. I might
Oh,
suggest that. But that's
interesting.
just for family stuff,
Sure,
'cause
sure.
it is very competitive. I mean, I think it's really nice that families are like that. That doesn't happen all the time with every family, but.
Yeah. Some families can be more, you know. Uh,
Stingy.
Funny story, the girl I dated, while I was still in the Marine Corps, the first night that I met her parents, we went out to dinner. And I knew, like, the dad was very much like me, where he was, like, stubborn, wanted to pay. So he was like, "I'll get the bill for tonight and, like, don't order what you guys want." And I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." But I pulled "Oh, I'm just
Bathroom?
gonna use the restroom real quick." And I paid for, her and myself and then her parents, and he was so mad. He was like
He got outmanned.
he got out, man. Well, that's what he felt like, right? He was like, "Oh my god, my pride."
Yeah.
So,
But just
it
say
was
then you just say, you'll get the next one. I really wanted to take you guys out."
absolutely. And it was my opportunity to show how much she meant to me
Mhm.
and how much it meant for me to meet them. So, it was just my little way of being like, "Yeah, this is fine. I wanna do this for you guys." But, yeah, that's pretty funny.
I love
Uh,
it. I love
but
it.
I don't know, in terms of your question about if she forced to pay half the bill,
Like, "I'm so feminist, I need to pay for half the bill, 50-50." I guess that would be turn off, I suppose.
yeah, I guess it would then, pose other questions like, okay, does this mean that how does this then translate to a relationship, you know?
Oh.
Um, so yeah, I
It's
don't know.
insane when it's actually like a 50-50 thing like that. I had, a coworker whose parents, they actually had a board on who owed who what.
Oh, wow. That's
Uh-huh.
serious. Wow.
Yeah, imagine. Like, I couldn't imagine like being like, Mark, you owe me 10 cents. Cough up, buddy.
He's like, it's our money, babe. Like, yeah, well, I want it. I want my 10 cents.
Okay. Well, Jonathan here. Feminists don't pay half the bill though. They still expect the man to pay. I mean, that's probably true. I was just throwing out a scenario. It's not likely to happen, but hey, maybe 0.00001%. You never know.
I think sometimes it's actually like you'll get some conservative women that are like, I want to show you that I'm like that you don't need to pay, or that I can also support and stuff. And it's like that's great, but for a guy, if they like you, I don't think they mind paying for your dinner. But I do know a lot of modern men now are choosing to split the bill, especially if they're not sure if they like the person or
There's
not.
going to be a second date, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Or reciprocally that they like them. Their date, I mean, likes them.
yeah, like, but I guess that's actually a good point that if a woman were to say, you know what, I'll take care of half of this, it kind of means that she's like, you know, I wasn't really feeling this. It's, it was a fun first date or whatever, but let's just split it because we're not going to go anywhere after this. So that's interesting.
I think a guy would, if you said it like that, the way you said it, I think a guy would accept it. Because then at least they're not out. And depending on if you want to be that prideful man that woman talked about in that TikTok, maybe you'll pay for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, I don't
pride.
want to. I don't want to be frugal with my money. I want to just, spend everything I have to show you.
And what about you? You're a female and you're a female. Let me pay for your bills.
How many females are in this restaurant establishment tonight? It's on me.
I got you.
Yeah, it's like, are you kidding me? Come on.
We have Jason Webster for 5 Australians says watching Poor Choices while having lunch after working out. Jason,
Wow.
good job.
Nice.
I don't have enough. Well, I work at home, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I can always work out and then have lunch.
Did he do chest today as well?
Yeah, did you do chest day, Jason?
Yeah.
We need to know. Chest day on hump day is the best day for chest day. Leg day for Friday, so that you can't walk
really?
on the weekend.
I did leg day today, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
that was.
I have 2 days off, Saturday, Sunday, and I like doing leg day before the rest day because your body still is using the muscles throughout the next 2 days. And since those are the biggest muscles that you're using in your legs, you're burning more calories than you would with a chest or back day. Anyways, that's my logic. Whether it's true or not, I think it's true, scientifically speaking.
That you're burning more calories on a leg day?
Yes, and since it's a bigger muscle group, you tend to burn calories thereafter the actual workout. Your metabolism is still high, pumping the blood through to circulate blood through the muscles. But anyways, for at least 48 hours, or no, at most 48 hours. So I like doing it before rest days. So
and it's it's smart. Well, also because, like you said, because your leg muscles are so large, it will take them kind of an extra day to recover. But those leg days tend to be like my highest calorie days because you exert so much energy and force, and you just have to feed your body after going through so much, exercise.
Rest day.
Okay.
It's hump day, yeah. Tomorrow's back, shoulder, abs. I'm so excited to see how fit you look when I see you next,
Nice.
Kara. I don't know.
Yeah. Kara, that's so awesome that you've been working out. I love that.
I love it so much. So much. And Jason Webster, again, for 5 Australians, says, I was friends with a female colleague who was married. We would alternate between paying separately or whom pays whenever we had dinner together. As in a relationship, it's all about mutual respect. One should never just expect or take advantage of any relationship. Every relationship has etiquette that should be followed. Thank you so much for the 15 altogether. I love that. So I actually have a few male colleagues that I used to do stuff like that with, and girlfriends, mostly the girlfriends. And It was very interesting, especially around like my Vietnamese colleagues, because yet again, it's like having dinner with your family because they have the same cultural background.
Mm,
Very weird how even if you're across the country and or sorry, living in another country, a lot of the same culture stuff bleeds over to the kids. Maybe it's not as strong as the parents, but yeah. We found out
wow.
Philip yesterday. Were you in the chat yesterday?
Yes, I was, well, I think I was lurking, but I was listening to, you guys talk about hotel floors and bad omens and weddings and all kinds of or, like, bad luck charms and,
Yeah.
yeah, so that was really interesting.
Philip's parents seem very similar to my parents, so it's weird
Oh,
how even
whoa.
across the country, different, ways we grew up, it's still very
Yeah.
similar. So,
Dang, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the fact that he was with what was also crazy when he said it, I think he was with his girlfriend for, like, 12 years before
12
they broke
years.
up, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
That's a long time
I've
to
never."
I mean, I don't wanna say waste. It's not a waste, but just if you know something's not 100% correct, and okay,
Sure.
I'll say even 80% correct for you as a person,
Yeah.
then that might be something you should change. But hey,
Mhm.
sometimes you get settled and they were their firsts. It's really hard to step away from that, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I've
don't
never
think
been with someone that long.
I was gonna say the only person I've been with for an extended period of time in a, like, legitimate relationship was about a year and a half. Um,
That
I
was your
mean
longest?
mhm, yeah. So, yeah, so when and what's crazy is, like, that relationship devastated me. Like, when we broke up and it was only a year and a half, I was, like, broken for, like, half a year. For, like, 6 months, I was in a rut. So, getting
Oh.
out of a relationship for, like, 12 years would I don't even I couldn't even comprehend how much of a life like, how devastating that would be, but like you said, some people kind of already know before they get out. I don't know.
Um, did you know it was coming? Just out of curiosity? Or did you
Yes,
initiate?
I initiated it, but it was still really gut wrenching. There was one that I didn't initiate, and that was also pretty heartbreaking. But,
Mhm.
um, yeah, no, I just feel like, yeah, when you have something like that, 5, 10, 12 years of being with someone and then leaving that would be like losing, like a yeah, like a family member.
Mhm.
That's crazy. That's such a
Yeah. No, it
dark
really does feel that way because, I mean, with every breakup, I think the first thing you really feel is anything that happens, you usually reach out to your significant other, but
mm,
kind of cutting that thread, you're like, "What do I do?" And that's at least with girls, you start trying to rekindle the friendships you had before if you cut them off,
mm,
which is why when you're young, I don't think I cared that much, but when you're older and you become goo goo gaga over a guy and don't keep on kindling the fire for your friendships, then
mm,
it just shows be the type of person you are. So you
yeah.
hope they don't do that. But dang. Aw, 20th anniversary this year. Oh, that's so
Hey, congrats.
sweet. I love
Oh,
that.
awesome. Yeah, that's rad.
Oh my God. The longest I've ever been with anyone was 5 years. 5 years too
Oh,
long.
wow. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Not even 4 years too long, 5 years too long.
yeah. What was funny was I was so enamored by and this is why I gave up on the whole, like, height, big muscles, and all
Mm,
that. Like, he was very, like, good-looking dude. He
sure.
seemed nice enough. Um, but the thing that I should have broken up with him for was around, I'd say 9 months. I think he made, like, a comment about how weird my parents were, and I was like, "What do you mean?" Well, he's like, "Your living room's not normal." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, because we had like a temple living room type of, like, you think about the little chair pillows and there's a
Sure.
shrine and whatnot, and it's just different culture. And I'm like, maybe not say weird, and that should have been the first sign that like, huh, well, that's not respectful.
Yeah, I like if your parents had like a if your parents were like hoarders or something, like if there was like
That would be
like an
fair.
issue, like if there were like things on the floor and just like,
No.
all sorts of trash and garbage and stuff. And he's like, "Babe, your parents' living room is a little, it's like unhealthy, right? It's a little weird." That's fair. But if it's like a culturally significant piece of their religion,
Yeah.
it's like, what? What are you
'Cause I
talking
think
about?
'cause I'm not Buddhist, like, heavily into it. I just never really,
Oh,
like, and then I should have thought of that as, like, that's offensive, a red flag, like, if you talk
yeah.
about my parents like that, like, what else?
Yeah.
So,
Are you sure it wasn't Ryan? It was Ryan? Were you talking to Ryan when he said
wait, Ryan Kinnell?
Yeah, that's something Ryan would say, right?
Oh my god,
Extra, you're
read the private chat.
oh, no.
I
Oh my god, I am
was like,
so
"What?"
sorry. You're like, "How?" What are you
You saw my face go like,
No, never mind. I'm so sorry, but yeah, that is
I
wow,
if my
what a
parents were
predicament.
taxidermists, yeah, it's a little weird. That's fine to say that's weird. I don't think he's listening right now.
Nah.
That'd be really weird if he was. Yeah, actually, I've had people who were in my life, like previous clients when I did like the spa stuff, and then just like text me randomly like, "Hey, do you do like are you on Friday Tights or
Friday
do you
Times.
do a show called Portrait?" I'm like, "What?
You're
That's
like,
random."
it's
Yes.
so funny because whenever like there's one of my classmates, we were in class the other night and she had asked what I do for work. And I said, well, I work part-time for YouTube's partnership program and, or Google's, AdSense partnership program.
You
Makes
made
it
it
sound
seem
real,
so like
it's real, make it sound good, right? And she's like, "Oh, so you're like an influencer?" And I was like, "No, I am not that. I guess you could call me like a creator, right? Like on
you're
the
like,
platform."
um, you're like a content creator hobbyist.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And she's like, "Oh, cool. I gotta go check out your stuff." And I was like, "No, you do not want to see my stuff because it's like
You're like,
it's
"Nerd."
it's nerd, yeah. Like they'd be like, "Oh, you're a freaking nerd." But also, they probably wouldn't agree with my takes. This is Southern California and in
But
the
that could filter them
education.
out. That'd be great, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, it wasn't. I wasn't trying to, you know, date this woman. We were just, students, right? But I think it's funny because, like, how do you tell someone, yeah, I do commentary on like culture and entertainment, but I do it from a lens that's like kind of anti everything that California loves.
Mhm.
So I tend to not tell people what I do.
Yeah. I think you and your parents should move to Texas so you can date better heads on shoulders type of women.
Yeah, yeah. One day. My parents are
Mm.
gonna stay here. They're not moving anytime soon, but
Oh,
maybe I'll go out there.
hey,
Yeah,
I
I
understand if
mean,
you want to stay by your parents. I do too.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like that's why I'm here mainly is for them. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
but once I do go back to Texas though, because I do ultimately at some point in my life I will move back to Texas. And at that point I'll have to get myself a Carhartt vest.
Oh my god. What a great video that was.
Oh man. This
Okay.
man looks like he could have tea with my daughters and then go sip a fine wine and smells like pine cones.
Because he
Yeah,
has a
that's fair.
Carhartt vest.
Because he has a Carhartt vest.
All right. So speaking of well, it's not really about turn-ons. This is turn-offs. But I thought this was
Ooh,
a funny video.
okay.
Because the amount of things women say that's a turn-off, there's a lot. There is a lot. And so
that men say about women or women say
no,
about
women say about men.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
it's very contradictory too, because then, like I used to say anyone with a fish or car in their Instagram, profile. Nah. Now I'm like, bring it on. You can feed me. You have a
Oh,
car.
wow.
You have guns. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, provider.
Okay, maybe
Okay.
not like a car. The car, if you're like one of those Lambo guys, maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay, I might X that. One picture is fine, but if all your pictures is of your car, red flag. Anyways,
Yeah. Oh,
no, it's very quiet. Sorry.
I could
Oh,
find
that's
a
okay.
man really, really, really hot. The second he sends me an Instagram reel, you're done.
What? Wait, what is that? Oh
Just
my
say this.
God. That
Don't
is
watch
so
TV.
funny.
Your ex try to have fun, jump in a club, eat noodles, try riding a horse. Order the sandwich you enjoy.
Don't use the ski machine.
Vibe to a song. Don't sing. Don't be a
Don't
mama's
sing.
boy. Oh, don't send her.
558. Oh my God. This is so funny.
Like, I kind of want to go
I
back and
like that
see
he scrolls. Yeah, what else is on there?
driving a car, not knowing a song, typing on a keyboard, wearing
Oh my
slippers.
God.
Oh my God. Feet hurting on a stone beach. Okay, some of these have to be gags.
So, X-Ray, would you call these icks? Do you like that word? Ick?
Yeah, I've said it more recently since that has become verbiage today. I guess the
Yeah.
slang.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, I saw just walk.
Just
Yeah, which is why I dated Mark, because he has to crawl.
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you bipedal people, give me the ick.
All you able-bodied people. Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah,
need
get
someone
outta here.
disabled so I can feel overpowered.
Yes,
Or
yeah.
I can be overpowering to someone.
Yeah. Dommy mommy coming in
Oh
hot.
my God. Tommy Mommy. Oh my God. But I have had the ick. Sometimes it's something you don't realize, but I think that majority of the reasons that you get the ick, that's the tipping point. There were things
Mm.
kind of reaching to that. I think I have like steadfast, like, if you do that, I'm definitely not dating you. The whole like children, religion, those were the two things that were like steadfast.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think, like, if you're dirty, sure, probably wouldn't want to date you.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
not that you get dirty at work or anything. You can always shower, but if you just have bad hygiene,
Hygiene. Hygiene's big. Yeah.
hmm
I saw a video where this woman was like watching her boyfriend walk in front of her. She was like filming him or something, and they were just having a conversation, and he like tripped on something on the sidewalk, and he was like, "Oh, like what was that? So weird." And then they just kept walking, and then the video later said she was like, "From that moment, I got the ick, and I could never look at him the same way." The fact that
because he
he like
tripped.
tripped because he tripped over so, and she was like, "It was just the most effeminate thing ever," and like we started fighting, and we broke up. I was like, "Oh my God." So for
Oh
some
my
women,
God.
the ick can be like for you, like you said, hygiene, the basic things
Oh,
that are like, oh, that's not very attractive. But for some women, it can be as something as like, oh, he sneezed wrong, and I got the ick, and it's like, oh man.
that's why lists are at 500 something of things not to
58.
do.
Driving a car. If you drive a car wrong, nope. If you
If you
walk a
breathe it when
certain
you
way.
sleep, what am I supposed to do? I feel like that's something people would get the ick about. Like,
Yeah.
no one's perfect like that. You have to, like, if you get an ick for the way someone sneezes, then I think there's something wrong with you.
There's something yeah, there's something wrong.
Uh,
Um,
what do
but,
you get the ick about?
oh, um, gosh,
Do that. Yeah.
take
That's
her
a good
yes,
filter.
yeah, 'cause Gregory, you have to take them to see the extended version that's, like, 4 hours long. Well, you always want the extended version,
Oh,
but,
the longer the better.
the
At least
longer the better,
when
the
it
long boy.
comes with goes bleh. At least when it comes to Lord of the Rings. Anything Disney, shorter the better.
Yes, absolutely. Um, but yeah, no, Lord of the Rings is definitely a good telltale sign. Um, in terms of ick though, um, I think it I think it's a big turnoff when I want to say when a woman becomes very domineering, um, or if she doesn't think that your masculinity is attractive. Um,
Oh.
this which are super specific. I'm trying to think of like funny ones that are like, oh, that's an ick. Like purple hair might be an ick. I don't know.
Ooh,
Not really
I would
purple hair.
say, okay, if I'm thinking about hair, I don't know if I'd like the faux hawk mohawk look. That would be an ick.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I used
Um
to rock a mean faux hawk in high school because that was like the thing, you
Ick.
know. Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
What about earrings on a guy for you? Is that Nick?
I can do studs. I don't think I can
Okay.
do spacers.
Oh, no, the gauges.
No, that's
Yeah.
too much. I also, um, I think this would probably be an ick too. If you take longer to get ready than I do, and I mean, I
Mm.
take like 20 to 30 minutes, so it's not like it's like a long time,
Mhm.
but it's, what are you doing that's longer than 30 minutes for a dude?
Yeah.
But well, okay, I will say if you need to shave to, do certain things, that I might be okay with. But if you're like
But if you're
prettying
like,
yourself,
you know,
yeah,
doing
I
the
don't
hair
know.
thing and yeah, that or you're just kind of looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like trying to I don't know. The I guess on the other side of the coin would be if a woman does something more masculine. Like I've seen women where they'll be at a party and they'll shotgun a beer and they'll like throw it and they'll like let out a loud burp or something. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's an ick for me. Like
I love that you
it's
just explained me.
no,
I'm kidding. I don't
you
think I've
are
ever after a
much
shotgun a
more
beer.
feminine.
I've done
Like
shotguns though.
and you're probably pretty good at them, I'm
Oh yeah,
sure,
I'm good at
like,
chugging.
yeah.
Chug,
Oh.
chug. Is
So,
that
yeah.
dirty? I
No, it just sounded like it, but
don't know.
no, I think, I don't know, there's a certain type of, girl who's very, like, independent or, like, the sports chick who's just, like I don't know, she doesn't really embrace the feminine side, and everything is a competition, or, like, they're trying to be in competition with you as the guy, and it comes across as, like, try hard, and that
Mm,
to me is an ick. Um, I
yeah.
don't know.
Tomboys though. Yay?
I I think to an extent, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I don't want someone who's so dainty that they're just like, "Oh, no, scary football." It's like
Oh,
yeah.
the wind blew.
Yeah, that would be like, she like
She
She-Hulk.
like She-Hulk. That actually, you
Ugh.
know what? If you ask those key questions like, what did you think of the Marvels, of all the TV shows, and if they liked it, there is probably gonna be something like it is almost on the political spectrum too. If they liked it, your politics are not gonna align. And politics in the States is very, very divisive.
Yeah.
People break up because of that.
Now more than back in probably maybe 4 to 6 years ago, I I I didn't even think about politics. Like, it was written in, like, dating code where you didn't talk religion or politics on your first date. Like, that was how you got through.
Yeah.
Now, that's, like, one of the first questions I ask 'cause
Oh,
it's, like,
you just are
so
right
present.
there.
Well, I whether it's a dating app or whether it's, someone I've met at, like, church or the gym or something, one of my first things is like, "So, yeah, where do you," um, uh, are you faith-based? Do you have, like, a political affiliation?" I don't play around anymore. I don't have
Yeah,
time.
you don't have time. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the same with me. I think when I turned so I was single, I think 27, and then I don't 27, 28, and then I probably dated a year and a half to almost 2 years before I met Mark. I think in that time, a year into being single, I was like, "I ain't playing around. I'm gonna ask all the
Yeah.
hard questions."
Yeah. I actually find it kinda refreshing. I don't know if that's how you felt as well, but, like, it felt kinda freeing to be like, "You know what? I'm not gonna hold back. Why should I be playing games? Why spend
Yes.
months trying to figure each other out and all this stuff?"
I
Like,
ain't hanging out like people say they do nowadays. I'm not
yep,
wasting time to be like, "Oh, I don't wanna be serious." No, I'm looking for a serious relationship.
yeah.
So, if you're not for that, thank you next, as Ariana Grande says.
Is that how y'all's first conversation went with, Mark? Were you like,
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna put it like the very first question I'm gonna ask, in a date, but, get to know him, get to know his lifestyle, get to know what he likes to do for fun, and then you weave in like, "Oh, what do you feel about kids? How do you oh, your parents, you didn't mention, are they religious? Are you religious?" Etcetera, etcetera.
yeah.
And then because he also lived very far away and his parents were here, so you can easily, like, weave in, "Your parents are here. Do you ever wanna move back here?" Because it's kind of
Yeah.
like direct but indirect.
And those are really good segues into, like, hard-hitting questions because, like you said, if you just drop bombs the entire conversation, it feels like an interview. If you're just like,
Yeah,
"What religion are you?" Or,
yeah,
"Where do you wanna live?" It doesn't feel natural. So if you kind of weave it into the conversation, it flows much better and it's not as aggressive.
yeah. Like, if you want a, recommendation for the people out there, if you wanna talk about politics and just be like, "Hey, I saw on the news on the way here about," especially now because it's election season, "that
Mm.
Iowa thing." I don't know what happened in Iowa, but
Oh,
anyways.
the Iowa caucus, yeah.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Just don't know what a caucus is. I
Yeah.
just know it says cac.
Caucus? Caucus? Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I wish I didn't
Mm.
need to talk about politics, but I think that especially if you're dating some of the bombs that are out there, or as Jersey Shore, I'm rewatching old episodes of Jersey Shore, the grenades. The
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
ones that are like, you don't wanna date. I mean, in the show, they also mean, like, ugly, but,
Mm, yeah.
yeah, yeah. You wanna avoid those grenades.
And yeah, I think it's funny because we've gone through like grenades, red flags, icks. Like the terminology continues to change over time, and each one means a different thing, But
Mhm.
yeah, it's pretty interesting, and they all kind of go under the umbrella of just turn offs in general.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. This is a good question. Jason Webster for 5 Australian says, "What film did you find to be the perfect date movie?" Ooh, okay, it
oh
depends on
wow,
your purpose. Um, you
okay.
know,
Like if you're
you
just
want
trying to smash,
uh put one on that you don't care about? I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
If you want to still be respectful and cuddle and she's okay with the scary movie, I will say Philip Chan's idea of that. He mentioned it in yesterday's conversation
Oh,
is a good idea because then you're
mm,
like, "Oh, I'm scared. I want to hold on to you." Yes. So that's kind of cute.
Okay.
If you're trying to filter, I'd say Lord of the Rings.
if you if you really want to, that's a heavy filter though.
Uh-huh.
That's
Uh-huh.
4 hours of based movie content right there.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to think perfect date movie for both a guy and a girl where you
What about
both can
a
enjoy.
what about a rom-com? Like a well, what about something like Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
That's fun.
Have you ever seen that one? Like that's super
Yes.
funny and fun and
Yeah.
lighthearted.
Yeah. I'm
It's
trying to think.
cute, you know.
You can always put an episode of Community, The Office. Any episode really works for those two shows. I think those are like crowd pleasers.
And those are probably nice because you can probably talk through those ones, like and
Mhm.
you know, it's binge TV where you can have a conversation and then you, like, look at the TV and you didn't miss anything really huge, you know?
Mhm.
So, but
Aw, Thunderbolt says Princess Bride.
that's a good one. Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
a
a great
crowd
one.
pleaser.
Mhm.
Wow, Shaun of the Dead for your first stay-in date? Oh my
Wow.
god. That was such a funny movie.
That's a classic. I think, Mahler and the guys, I think they have said that Hot Fuzz, they think is a better movie, or they may find it funnier, but Shaun of the Dead is excellent. It's a very good film,
I
so
agree. I agree. But
I
yeah.
actually really like, World's End or shoot, now I'm blanking on it. It was like the 3rd installment of that type of those guys who did it, but I
I
forget what it was.
don't
Maybe chat can help me, but,
know.
The End of the World, something like that, but
Wow. Rambo,
oh,
she just
no.
cried at the end of Rambo, Throw Her Away. Did you cry at the end of Rambo: First Blood?
Um, I you know what? It's been such a long time that I don't know if I remember.
If you cried?
Uh, you know what I did cry to? I just
What?
recently rewatched The Fellowship of the Ring,
Oh, which
and
part?
they played it in theaters here. So
No! You're
so
so
for
lucky.
so for the 20th anniversary, they played so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King extended editions.
I hate
And
you.
then that Saturday was all it was like a 12-hour block that the movie theater, segmented, and it was all 3. So
What a
I
golden.
saw you need to see them in theater, it's incredible.
I never saw them in theaters.
Oh,
I
it's
know.
it will change your life. At least I think so. It's a life changer. So
I wanna see Orlando Bloom on big screen.
of
I
course
mean,
you
I
do.
loved him in Pirates of the Caribbean. Whoo!
You didn't go
But
for Johnny Depp?
no, because he looked
No?
dirty.
Okay. Oh,
I mean, he
yeah,
was
that's true.
quirky, he was funny,
Sure.
but I
Yeah.
wasn't like, "Oh my god, he's hot," but, like, having a hero type of person save the girl.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's true, and he's a pirate, but he's not, so he's
Yeah,
kinda
he's a little bit
dangerous.
bad
Little
boy.
bad boy. Of course.
Whereas, like, in Lord of the
Uh,
Rings, he was like this, like
perfect,
ethereal
beautiful.
creature. His hair was
Yeah.
always perfect. He barely got dirty most of the time,
Mhm.
and just like, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Will Turner.
Will Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so our theater was full, and I was kinda sitting in the far back row in towards the center, um,
Mhm.
and just so I could get, like, the full experience, you don't wanna be up towards the front, you wanna be
Yeah.
kinda towards the back, and, Boromir's death scene, man,
You
yeah,
cried.
I was just like,
Um,
'cause he goes Oh, go ahead.
oh, no, no, go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, you know, the I think in context, once you realize what that scene means, it's so heavy because he's such a good man, and I think that's what a lot of people have a hard time coming to understand because they always think that he's the bad guy, right? Because he tries to take the ring, but in context, the reason why he gets caught up in that and is because he's protecting the hobbits and he dies for them. He sacrifices himself for them.
Mhm.
Ultimately, he's a good man who makes mistakes and who is corrupted. And that's such a brilliant story because aren't we all kind of broken, right? Um, and all he wants to do is defend his country and defend his people and defend the little ones, the hobbits. Um,
Boromir paid for the whole dinner check.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think so.
And
Well, at least on a first date.
he would definitely pay the whole check. He wouldn't pay all the girls in that whole
No,
restaurant.
no,
Yeah,
no.
he has higher standards.
Yeah. Hi, Tugs.
Hi, Tugs.
Aw.
I'm standing in for you. You're much prettier
Yeah,
than
Tu
I am,
I was gonna
but
say, Tugs, why you've lost so much hair on your
oh
head
my
and it's
goodness,
moved to your
and it's
chin.
moved down to my face.
Um, I always cry at the part where the hobbits, Merry and Pippin,
Mm.
when they see Frodo from across the way, and Frodo gets this look
Um,
like, I don't know how to act it, but like, "Dude, this is where we say bye." And then
yeah,
they go, "Over here!" And I'm
yeah,
like, they're sacrificing for their friend they grew up with, and oh my god, even though like, literally, they probably should have died, but they didn't.
yeah, yeah. And they're such lads because like they look across the way and Frodo gives them this look, like you said, where he's just kind of like, I can't go with you. I'm so sorry. I have to do this myself. And even Mary goes like, he's not, he's going alone. And so that's when they get up and they're like, hey, big stupid idiots over here. And Pippin goes, it's working. And Mary's like, I know it's working. We got to get out of
Run!
here. So yeah. Um,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
so it's
So
nice to have a little levity in that sacrifice, and, I
mhm.
watched, okay, we're getting nerd talk here, sorry.
Yeah, no, I love it.
The, EFAP movie coverage, if you guys get a chance,
Yes.
you should watch it because they do a wonderful job talking about that. Because 'cause
So
I'm
good.
just gonna reiterate points, but, yeah, you should watch that instead.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Okay, he'd pay for a second breakfast.
There you go.
The morning after. And then he'd probably
Ooh,
marry you after, like, the second date, to be honest, if you were
potentially.
wifey material. I don't know, Boromir would have to marry no, he's not technically a prince. He can marry anyone.
Chat, here's a question for you, and maybe Tugs if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. X-Ray, you've already said Legolas. Who is the most attractive of the Fellowship?
Of the
Which man?
fellowship.
Yeah, which
Oh,
man is the most attractive? Boromir, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin, Gandalf, Elrond, like anyone
okay.
from,
'Kay. Okay, so I might have liked Orlando Bloom, Legolas, back in the day. Definitely an
yeah.
Aragorn fan now that I've grown up.
Mm, yep, yep.
Um, Also, if I had to choose a hobbit, it'd be Sam.
Yes, good choice. Based X-ray. Oh,
Mhm,
I love it.
mhm.
I have Sam's sword in my closet. So
Very
I
nice.
have I have Aragorn's sword, Eomer's helmet, and Sam's sword. Now I need Boromir's horn. Uh,
Ooh, Gimli.
so okay,
That's
I see a
true,
lot of
that's true.
Aragorns. See a lot of
Gimli would be
Aragorns.
another good choice. I think he'd be a good husband.
I don't know, man. Boromir's a good looking like Sean Bean. Sean Bean is a good looking guy.
Oh, yeah, he's part of the fellowship. I don't know, I don't wanna deal with his dad.
Oh, Denethor is the worst. He is awful.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, all that being said, uh I cried like a little baby when he passes away and he goes, I would have followed you to the end, my brother, my captain, my king. And I had to like so I kind of did this in my chair in the theater
You're
and
like,
I kind of did
wipe
this
the tear.
and like I'm sure the people next to me could see my shoulders like so I was just sobbing. But oh my god, it's such a good scene. Oh
I'll
yeah, there
definitely
you
tell him
go.
you'll never have to buy him a ring. And he lives a
I don't
long
know.
time, if you're into
Call
that.
him he's got that hair though, man. I don't know. He's got to do something better with his hair.
I would weep about Faramir and his father too.
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that whole relationship, especially
So sad.
if you've because X-Ray, you saw the Two Towers extended, right? Where
All of them.
Boromir is okay, cool. Boromir is in Osgiliath and he's like rallying the troops and he's got the flag and he and Faramir are together as brothers and they're like drinking and they're like, great speech, blah, blah, blah. And then Denethor comes along and both of them are like, fuck this guy again.
Why
So
is he
both of them, exactly. Yeah. Why is he here? So, yeah, both of those brothers have a really great relationship and a close knit bond. And you can see how, um, poisonous Denethor is to their
Mhm.
relationship, to the relationship of the people of Gondor. Yeah, these films are so freaking good.
Yep.
So gosh dang good. Yeah.
All right. So we'll just do one more topic and then we'll probably
Okay.
end it if that's okay. I
Yeah, of
know we got
course.
into we started talking about things we enjoyed. So I saw this. I think this is from Reddit.
Oh.
Too afraid to ask. So condom broke, girlfriend doesn't seem to care and won't take plan B. What now? As soon as it happened, I said, let's get cleaned up and I'll run to CVS and get it. She said she doesn't want to take it and whatever happens, happens. We're in no position to have kids. We're both 21, still live with our respective parents. She's still in school. I'm working crazy hours and trying to get hired as a firefighter. She's been pretty strict about it before, almost always bringing her own condom in case I didn't have one. Never needed it because I always had one. So I'm not sure why the sudden change in attitude. If the roles were reversed, I'd be freaking out and trying to take it as soon as possible. No idea what the first step is to move forward from this. What should we or I do?
Ooh.
Okay, I already have planned thoughts. Do you need a moment?
That's tough. Actually, well, if you want to share, I'm going to use the restroom real quick and then I'll be right back.
Oh, sure,
Um,
sure. Okay, go
and I'll
on.
think about it. Yeah, because that's tough. But I'll still get to hear you. I've got
No
you in my ear
worries.
here.
No worries. Okay, so first things first, no matter if you're even wearing a condom, you're taking birth control, even if you take plan B, you can always still get pregnant. Okay. That is something that I think most people don't think about. There's that 99.9%, effectiveness. There's always that point one. And people have gotten pregnant on all of those things. So if you're going to do the deed, you have to take accountability for the option that it might not work. Now, I'm guessing this is some long term relationship, even if it's short term. They've at least had the conversation where they don't want to have kids, or at this point, and she may. Maybe they didn't talk. Wait, let me read this. I don't think they actually talked about it. They just showed that they didn't want to have kids by bringing condoms and whatnot. So if the condom breaks, I think you're SOL. No?
Well, let me
And if
ask
she
you
doesn't wanna take
this.
it.
Do you think that she doesn't want to take the pill or the plan B because she wants to be with this guy and is afraid that if she doesn't have his kid, he'll leave her?
That's a potential. They're not giving enough information here
Right.
that you would know 100% for sure. They didn't even say how long they've been dating. It just is, my girlfriend. It could
Yeah,
be
21, that's young.
it's very young, and you might not even have the deep conversations like family and what you wanna
Oh, yeah.
do, 'cause, you know, you have to if you're taking that risk. Sorry.
I and I agree with you because like you said, there's no the only which is it's kind of a catch 22, but it's like the only 100% chance that you will not get pregnant is if you practice chastity,
Celibacy?
right? The celibacy.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's like, well, that is the only 100% chance. So anything after that, you are accepting a level of risk, whether it's 1%, whether it's 50%, whether it's, whatever. Um, so that is something that you have to be willing to accept. And it is scary for sure.
It always
And
is.
yeah,
Wow,
especially, yeah.
Andrew!
Oh, oh, well,
You
there's
will
that too.
100% not get pregnant with that, I suppose.
Yeah, I
I am
guess
not
there
bringing
you
that
go.
up.
No, that's fair.
Even the pull-up method,
It's
that's
so
not
funny.
100% either.
Yeah, that's very true.
Oh, I
And
yeah.
yeah, the I think yeah, it's tough because they obviously didn't talk about birth control or Plan B before this. I'm assuming. So
Who
yeah,
knows? Because
now
it
that it's
wasn't
kind of happened,
explicitly stated.
right?
I'm curious to see what other people said. Oh, hello,
Oh
Brittany
yeah.
Venti. He knew that this was a possibility that she would choose to have the kid. He still chose to have sex with her. The child is his responsibility, which I believe so as well. He has to be responsible. That's his sperm.
Well, did he say that he was? Sorry, what was the tweet again? What did she say? She said
Um, he said that
he.
he still chose to have sex with her. The child is his responsibility. It's always a possibility to get pregnant, right?
Oh
Which
yeah,
is
I mean,
essentially what I was saying earlier.
yeah. What you were saying about the risk factor, I think, is totally fair and absolutely correct. Um, whether or not he knew that she was going to have that she wanted to have his kid, I don't know if we necessarily know that from just this little thing, but um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
And
agree with your statement about accepting that risk whenever you do
yeah.
this.
And this, I think this is who posted this. Flip the gender and see if you still agree with yourself. I actually would still agree.
What do you mean? Like
If the men got pregnant and the women wanted the man to take plan B, would you still be like saying like that's your responsibility now? Yes. It takes two to do this act.
Mhm.
So if you are a part of it and you willingly consented to this, you know what's going to come of it possibly.
Yeah, I think both parties would have to have that understanding going into it. Um, yeah, the switch the genders thing is weird for me because it's like, well, actually now in 2024, men can get pregnant, so it's like, oh
Oh
well, you
no.
can ask yourself if the genders are reversed. It makes sense, you know. Um,
Yeah.
it yeah, it also comes down to like some women will have abortions without the men's consent. You
Now
know.
that is a trickier situation. If a
Yes.
man
Yeah.
wants to keep the baby, the woman doesn't. I think that there
Right.
is a lot of more gray area to work through
Mm,
because then that's where I mean here the hypocrisy, not the morality. Then there is like hypocrisy in that. I believe
mm,
when a man wants to keep the baby, but the woman doesn't. Like that is
right.
wild to me. Never been in that situation. Hopefully, never have to be in that situation or hear about it. That really sucks. I think as a
Yeah.
man to be told that your baby's getting aborted because you never know what could happen or could have happened. I suppose. Um, but yeah,
What's this meme? It says tradcons and feminists get her pregnant and become her slave, but she can ditch responsibility at any time.
I think this is where
Hmm.
apparently we're agreeing as women, tradcons and the feminists, that if we get pregnant, we can ditch the baby to the man.
She can ditch responsibility at any time. Yeah, I would have to get more context on that. I'm not sure what that meme is trying to say. but-
Yeah,
Become her slave? I
yeah.
don't know.
Cope.
That's
No responsibility for women, but men have to bear the burden all the time. I think by her keeping it, she's being responsible for it.
No responsibility for women, but men have. Um,
It's not true.
yeah, this comes back to the whole like they both they both came together with that sexual act, right? So they both accepted the risk. I don't know. It's so tricky.
Yeah.
This is something I've never had to deal with, so I don't know. I'm probably not the best guest for this. I'm sorry.
No,
I
I mean,
wish
I've never dealt
I
with it
wish
either,
yeah,
but
that's true. That's true.
I
But
I think that yeah, I guess Jonathan, you're right about this. This person's probably thinking financially only.
about having the kid.
Where it's the burden on the men.
Oh. Huh.
Because we see it more so in a lot of divorces with
Oh, right.
kids present, but,
Yeah.
like, in this scenario, it's a young couple, and they're 21 years old, they're in school and barely working enough to make their bills, and I do see that being tough. I think I've always said this, um, when I was younger, like, if I got pregnant, I'm gonna keep the baby only
Mhm.
because I don't even know if later in life when I'm older, if I, you know, would be able to have babies. And then if I aborted a
Mm,
baby, I would be so sad. Like, what could have been, you know?
mm. Yeah.
At least that was my rationale. Of course that never happened, but
Mhm. Well, I think, it kind of begs this is a hypothetical, but like, say she gets pregnant, this 21-year-old girl in this Reddit post, she gets pregnant, they realize that they're not right for each other. So she divorces him. She's most likely going to take that kid and leave, and he will have to pay alimony for that child. Um, and then asks the question, is he does he still bear the responsibility because he stuck his in her and at that moment accepted the responsibility of if they have a kid, if she divorces him and he has to pay alimony at that point in time, like, and it was never his intention to do so, right? Like, I don't know, it just gets it's so messy and it gets really I don't know. It gets I wish I had a better understanding of what that meant,
yeah.
morally in the grand scheme of things or whatnot, but I don't know.
This tweet here, and I think this is where we get into the gray area. If women are going to be allowed to terminate for the sake of having control over their future, I think it's only fair for men to have the same opportunity to opt out. Feels weird to say that one person gets to make an executive decision that has a major impact on someone else. Not That's where I see like the equality where okay, if a woman wants to terminate, the man doesn't, that's really unfair for the man. But it's the same thing vice versa.
Yeah, and I think that's where it comes down to the whole "my body, my choice" thing, where you'll have women saying, "Oh, if I want to keep it or if I want to abort it, that's on me because it's not your choice anymore. You provided the sperm, but ultimately I'm going to be the one to decide." And like you said, I don't think that's necessarily fair. Um,
Mhm.
because
But
both of them came together to make that decision to, you know, have sex or whatnot. I don't know.
it's
But
a very I have no stake in this, but I can see why women would want to have financial help. Personally, for me, if I was in that situation, I decide to keep the baby. It's not about the financial help. I want the person to be in the life of the child.
yes, you
It's
would
about the
hope that
time, the
right.
cost of time versus the cost. Like, sure, I'll probably be able to take care of the child, but
Yeah.
I want the kid to have a dad too and know the dad, which would be sad if the dad didn't want to, but it is
Mhm.
what it is.
You would want to try and make the best out of the situation that was dealt, and you would want to try and create a family around that
Mhm.
for the child's sake, you know.
Yeah. There
Um,
was one person I remember from a reality show I watched. They had sex one time. Like these two like people, they weren't even in love and crushing each other. They probably just banged because they were like drunk and very good looking. The girl got pregnant. They didn't stay together and they raised a
mm,
child together, which I think is very
Oh,
beautiful,
wow.
which is really rare. And now he's married to another girl, and they have kids too. And
Whoa.
wild, wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, I guess, I mean, you hope that, the kid gets an actual, like, a father in the home, as opposed to, because the father by blood, I don't know how much time he would be able to be in the home if he's got another wife or another girlfriend or something, but the fact that they raised that kid together, even though they weren't together, that's pretty
That's
incredible.
wild to me. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, I totally know I'm picking up on like a rarity, but I
Oh, it
mean,
is like a 1% of the 1%, you know?
but I just thought it just came
But
to my head. I'm like, that's such a beautiful story, which you never hear.
yeah. What's crazy is, I was talking to Baggage Claim the other day because she had brought up such good points on Friday Night Tights. In the book that I'm reading right now, called Manhood, one of the chapters in there is about men becoming fathers, becoming builders, becoming warriors, and each chapter is like one of these subsets of becoming a man. And one of the things that it talks about was the crisis of fathers, of a lack of fathers in Western culture right now. And I thought
Mhm.
that like some of the information that he was dropping, and some of the stuff the Baggage Claim was dropping,
Mhm.
it's pretty sad. I mean, 1 out of 4 kids, I think it was, grow up without a dad. I think 55% of African American families don't have a dad. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. Yeah. Which is
that's
wild.
yeah. Mhm.
And
And then all the statistics of how much, uh, all those percentages go up, of men who are aggressive, or men who go to jail or don't finish high school or college, women who are more susceptible to, aggressions towards them, abuse, all this kind of stuff, without a father in the home. So,
mhm. Is
uh,
this global or USA?
this was US stats,
Mm,
so,
mhm.
this was America, so,
Yeah, that's wild. I
yeah.
honestly, even though my parents didn't work out, I was happy to have a very, like, loving family for the most
Mhm,
part growing up. I mean, I say loving, but my parents showed love in a very different way that Americans do, and,
mhm.
I'm happy that we had that 'cause it would have been so tough, like, hearing single parents and what they had to go through, and there's just less time if you're not working as a two-person team to take care of the
Eh
kids.
yeah, and you're so close you're close with your dad, right? I mean, he's pretty close with you,
Yeah. No, he
so.
he moved back to Vancouver, and he's not
Oh,
coming
you
back for a
did?
few months, and I'm
Oh,
so no, I'm kidding, I'm
no.
kidding.
You're like, "Thank God, dad, stay as long as you need to up there, don't come back." No.
No, no, I actually asked, I was like, "So when are you coming back? Like, I miss you." And he was like,
Aw.
well, I'm having fun here." I was like, "Uh-huh, okay. Alright.
Classic. You're like, "Oh, well, okay, fine, don't come
My
back
my
then."
house is not a vacation."
He's just using it as an Airbnb, he gets free dinner and all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah,
No.
he's so funny. He's like, "Do you need money?" And he's like, "I left you some money." I'm like, "I don't need to know where it
Oh,
is, Dad. Leave it."
that's so sweet.
Uh,
Uh,
yes, Alan
dang,
the Merciless lives in Vancouver and California part-time.
I love it. Aang,
West
yeah,
Coast life.
has, yeah, he's great. You got to meet Loki,
I got
Tom
to meet
Hiddleston.
him. Tom,
Yeah.
yeah, he had his hand on my shoulder. He's so tall. I thought
Yeah,
I
he
was
really is.
tall, but he's like, 16
He's
feet
like,
tall.
yeah. Well, yeah, especially if you're 9 feet tall, absolutely, so,
I know.
uh
It's very odd, seeing someone that tall in my life. Oh god.
Such a funny picture, yeah.
I know. Apparently, uh, Alan's other daughter laughed at the, edit.
Oh, she seemed like she had a fun time at LA, because I think
She
she was
always does,
there.
it
Yeah,
seems. Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think they have a good relationship together, so
She's spicy, that one.
oh my gosh, yeah. She was,
I
like,
loved it.
knocking him over and kicking him and stuff, and yeah, she was something else.
We have David Chandler for $10 says, cheers to MVP for filling in for Tugs. Nice to
Nice.
find places on the internet where rational civil discussion can take place. Hey, Alexa girl, the 199 and all the denizens in the chat. Cheers to you, Dave. Thank you so much. Here, I'll do
Hell, man.
Max's. What does this mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Just like rock on.
Rock on!
Yeah.
I feel so
Yeah.
cringe doing that.
Oh no, you're fine.
Do I have to like stick out my tongue too and be like, ah?
I mean, it's up to you. If you want to do the what's it called, the Hasiago thing, where they stick out their tongue, and it's like the weeaboo OnlyFans look, where the girls stick out their tongue and they cross their eyes, and they have
You
all
do
the
that to say rock
kitty
on?
kitty cat ears. No, that's their thing when they're trying to be like cute or sexy. But
Oh, I thought that was a rock on thing. I was like,
no,
I'm
no,
so
no, no, no,
confused.
no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I remember watching that video on whatever podcast when the girl went on and she was like, "Ara." Is it like the cross
Yes,
eyes?
yeah, yeah. Like that's the type of girl that does the
Asiego?
asiego, yeah, face.
Asiego cheese.
Asuego, yeah, asuego.
Okay.
That's the face that the
Yeah.
weeaboo girls like to
No.
do a lot. But
No, thank you. That is
no, it's not.
complete cringe. That
But
is
you have the
more cringe
little
than what I did.
cat. You have the bean toes.
He's so far away. I don't want to
Oh
reach it.
no, that's okay. I can see him from here.
Yeah. I don't do it for being a furry, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, but anyways, thank you, Max, so much for
Oh,
randomly coming on.
yeah. No, this was great. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you sending out the link. I didn't want to. I felt bad because I didn't want to take over the stream. So like once
didn't.
Tugs came in, I was gonna pop out. But no, thank you so much for having me on because this was super fun. So yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I always enjoy a good conversation with you. It's called the
Yeah.
ahigao,
Ahigao. Yeah.
or ahigao.
I'll call it Asiego. I'll just
You're like
continue to
that.
call it
It's the Asiago face.
Asiego cheese. Yeah.
Oh my god,
thanks.
an Asiago cheese dip. Oh,
Mm, chef's kiss.
I
Yeah.
miss pita bread.
Oh yeah,
Buttered
have been
pita
trying
bread
to
with that. Oh,
do the do like
it's
the
worked
carnivore
very well.
diet before.
Keto. Look at this little
Yeah.
bicep.
Look at that muscle.
He's so small and cute.
I love it.
Oh, but yes,
Yeah, we're all gonna look jacked for Vegas.
can't wait. April, I'll be
Yeah.
definitely jacked by then. Max, where can people find you?
Thanks to your lovely chat and your mods, Holocron actually put my my link in the chat so you guys can find me at MVP Maxfield Von Priestley. And if you guys really want to get a dose of Warhammer lore and nerdy goodness, you guys can check me out on my second channel titled Maximus Prime. Maximus Prime or Maximus Prime 40K, either one.
Oh, I don't know if I actually subbed to that channel.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's
I need
It's
to.
a little hobby project that I've been enjoying. Posted a video last night on there, and they're just little short 1-minute clips to get people introduced to the world and some of the characters. So it's been
right.
good.
I googled Maximus Prime, and I'm quite sure this is not you.
Unfortunately, no. I mean, I don't know. Can I pass for that guy? Maybe
No.
he does have more subscribers than me. So chat, we need to beat him. We need to get me more subs so that I come up first.
Maximus Prime. Okay, I'm gonna put 40K. Probably will
Yeah,
find you then. There we go.
that'll-
Here, I
that'll
found
be
you.
fun.
This
Yeah.
you're way sexier than that other dude.
Ooh, well, thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say he is a little pencil necky. He is a little goofy, little goober. So
Goober.
yeah.
All right, I actually have to switch to my main account in order to sub to you. There we go. Alrighty, I gave you a sub. Wow, it's got
Oh, well, thank you.
videos already. Dang, boy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got I think probably 20 up there, or around 20-ish.
That's awesome sauce.
Yeah, yeah, it's actually been really fun. It's completely out of the culture war, completely out of any type of entertainment. It's like the most strict Warhammer down to basic stuff I can think of, and it's been really fun, which is kind of cool because culture war can get pretty exhausting at times. So
Abso-freaking-lutely.
yeah,
So, yeah. All right, you know
right.
where to find me. Tomorrow, I am going to be playing D&D at 1 PM Eastern, and
Ooh,
then playing a game probably in the evening. I'm not sure if, Kara's free. If you're here, Kara, let me know. But, yeah, we'll play a game. We'll do something. All right?
cool.
Thank you very much again, Max. Thank you, chat. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the mods for being here. And make sure you sub to Max's channels. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.